Welcome to the Ketones and Coffee Podcast with Lawrence Manaig, where we explore the ketogenic lifestyle and how it can improve your physical and mental health. Each week, we bring you valuable insights and advice from experts to help you on your journey to a healthier lifestyle. This episode is brought to you by BasicKetogenicLifestyle.com, where Lawrence coaches individuals with depression to reverse their symptoms and achieve a healthier, happier life using an evidence-based approach. So sit back, relax, and join us as we dive deep into the world of ketones and coffee. Subscribe to the Ketones and Coffee Podcast today and never miss an episode.
I'm so excited for this. Today, I have a pleasure to introduce David Wong. David is a best-selling author, the founder of a health tech company, a visionary inventor, a martial artist, and a Qi Gong practitioner. He's at the forefront of cutting-edge technologies for personal wellness. He's also the founder of Life, a company renowned for its innovative frequency-based devices. But David's impact doesn't stop there. He's also the founder of the Qi Life Foundation, a charitable organization dedicated to research on mental health for both children and adults, as well as the development of non-invasive healing technologies. David Wong, welcome to the Ketones and Coffee Podcast, brother.
Excited to be here, brother.
Awesome, bro. So, I just want to preface, this show is all about optimizing our health. And however, I think it's important to say that today it won't be about the ketogenic diet. So we've had many health innovators on the show before, and today we will be talking about a different type of modality that David used to heal himself from chronic illness, which is very interesting stuff. So if you're tuning in right now to learn more about the ketogenic diet, this episode might not be for you. But if you're all about optimizing your health and increasing your human potential, I urge you to stick around, because when I read your story, David, and your interviews, I felt the need to just share this story with our listeners today. Our listeners, after you listen to this, you can decide if it's for you or not. David here dealt with his own set of health issues and healed himself completely using the modality that is life force energy, or Qi energy. Yeah. So David, could you share your personal journey of self-healing? Give us that backstory, which led you to where you sit today, brother.
Well, I was chronically ill for 10 years, suffering from ulcerative colitis. It's a digestive disorder that is incurable according to all the experts. And this is something that causes you to have internal bleeding every day. So you can't even go out. You're losing so much blood every day. You can't focus. You have brain fog. You have chronic fatigue. You can't work out. You can't do anything, right? So that was me for 10 years. I was in depression. I had lost all my confidence and I looked like shit, right? And eventually I came to a point where I was trying all this medication, which just gave me side effects, didn't work. And I just came to a point when I just was so frustrated and just so sick and tired, literally, that I was praying and I was just meditating and just asking, I was like, what do you want me to do in order to get out of this life? Because I was in my 20s, I had dreams, I had goals, I wanted to succeed, I wanted to make a difference. And I was just watching every day of my life just wasting away. Just wasting my time, not making any progress in my life, health-wise, financially, relationships. I was just stuck. And I wanted to get out of there. And I was just so desperate for something, some kind of change. And when I was meditating, I just heard this voice. And it just told me, hey, David, you should learn more about meditation. You should see if you can meditate even deeper. And I said, okay, how am I going to do that? So I started to, put more focus and energy into that. And from that journey, I was able to get all these inspirations and ideas. I mean, my background is in music and engineering and also Qi Gong and martial arts. So I said, well, maybe I can, play around and put all these things together into one thing. And who knows what happened? Maybe I'll get better meditation. And the result was I did. I actually got the deepest meditations, most profound experiences I ever had. And that led to me getting even more ideas and so on. And eventually, I was experimenting with some frequencies for healing my digestive disorder that I found. And I used the device to let's say, to broadcast it to my body, I say, wonder if this is what happened. It'll be like Star Trek, right?
Mhm.
Or it'll be like sci-fi. So I tried out, and guess what? The moment I turned it on, I felt something in my gut happening. I didn't know exactly what was happening, but I felt something I never felt before with any kind of medication, any acupuncture, any herbal medicine. It felt like it was like somehow massaging it from the inside. It's like, whoa, I'm just
Mm.
using a frequency and it's actually doing something to my body. That day, my symptoms went down.
Wow.
I continued with for 90 days, and I completely healed my disease that I had for 10 years.
Wow. It's incredible that, from years of suffering, and they said it's incurable, you'll be on medications for, most of your life. And, according to these experts, right? But by, you know, what you've discovered, you heal yourself in 90 days, man. So it's almost accidental if you think about it, right?
It is all accidental, but there was a reason,
Yeah.
right? Because I was so, I think when everybody comes to a point in their life when they get really sick and tired in their, current situation. Some people do, some people may not. Some people may be happy and they kind of just, go through life pretty easily. But most of us, I think we come across challenges in our life, right? We come across things that force us to change, force us to change what we do,
Mm.
change how we think, change what we believe, so that we can move forward, so that we can grow, right?
Mm.
So that's what happened to me, and that experience, basically, ever since then, that was 6 years ago. Um, I said, I think I found my life purpose because
Mm.
I knew how it felt to be so
Mm.
sick and so desperate and so needy and so in such a dark place.
Mm.
And I knew that there's people out there. It's like, whoa, if I could just show them this is so
Mm.
simple, they can transform their lives too. I can help lots of people with this. So that's why I started this company. I created an actual device and product, which is actually the best right now in the world for this kind of therapy. And it's called PEMF combined with rife therapy. We're the only
Mm.
system that does it right now in the world. And we have these coils. You listen to it, they look like donuts or lollipops, but they're called Qi coils. And what they do is they convert, let's say, music or frequencies into silent magnetic waves. And those waves, like energy, goes into your body, goes right through your skin, all through your clothes, into the deepest part of even your organs and everything. And it basically re-energizes them, gives them the energy or the life force or the frequency it needs to function at the optimal level.
Man, we'll talk about the coil, but it's interesting that you talked about how, your journey is to find that purpose now that you found your purpose. You talk about depression, which is interesting because I dabbled into meditation frequency when I was also going through it. I was, 6 or 7 years ago, I was in the major depression, deep depression. It was such a dark place in my life. So my therapist introduced me to meditation. And so she started me with, 5 minutes. And then ever since then, that was, 5, 6 years ago, I have meditated every day, which was a huge part of my healing journey until I discovered how to, change my physiology, eliminating foods that cause inflammation and exercise. But the one thing that helped me was meditation. Helped me change my belief system, stay present. I had no idea of its power to heal, but it was just happening, right? Can you walk me through when you began to look into ancient tradition and modern technology? Where were you trying to accomplish? What were you trying to accomplish at the time?
I, well, you mean when I was trying to heal?
Yeah.
Well, I've always had kind of martial arts in my life
Mm-hmm.
because my uncle, he's a Tai Chi and Qi Gong master in China, and I learned from him. I'm his disciple, right? And so I've been practicing ever since a young age. And then when I was doing it, there wasn't any science behind this before, right? Back when I was young. So I was just playing around with it, and you feel the sensations in your body. I use it to help myself sleep. I use it for my prayers and everything, and use it to kind of like do my martial arts. I never knew that there was actual science behind it. I thought it was just some kind of imagination or just something in my head until I started researching more after I healed myself, that there is actually 80 years of research based on pulse electromagnetic fields. So, so the process was using all the sensitivity I had to energy from my Qi Gong practice.
Mm.
And you could say, actually, I almost died when I was 10 years old. Uh, let's backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
So I fell over the railings head first. I was playing, like, sliding down the rails when I was a kid. I crushed my head on the lower railing. My skull basically cracked. I went to the emergency room. They did about 8 hours of surgery to reconstruct my skull. I only had a 50% chance to live. And even if I lived, I would have brain damage. Luckily, I survived. So I think but after that, I became very introverted and maybe even on the spectrum, right? Now that I look back. And I think what happened was something kind of, you could say, like, activated or awakened. I became more in tune with spiritual things, you would say. I became more sensitive to flows of energy and so on. So ever since then, I had this sensitivity. And I think everybody has this. They just have to practice it. Or some people are very gifted and they can sense other people's energies and so on, right? Or even use it to heal other people with their energy. But basically, what happens is through my sensitivity, I'm able to kind of feel what works with this energetic devices and what doesn't work, and what kind of experience each kind of frequency will give you, and also what kind of experience the different types of windings will give you. Because we created something called yin and yang coils. Well, we didn't create yin and yang, but I just kind of discovered that if you wind them one direction, you'll have yang energy. If you wind them the other direction, you get yin energy. They actually feel different. Using the same frequency, using the same energy, everything's the same. It's just the different way you wind them. You get a different sensation. You get a different experience. And then further from that, for more advanced training, we actually teach people how to use them in different configurations and combinations to get even more different kinds of effects and configurations. So being sensitive to this energy allows me to have this understanding or experience, like real experience of how this energy works.
Man, that story when you were 10 years old, brother, man, that's the second life right there for you, brother. I wasn't expecting that, but when I was looking into this device that you created, we don't want to sound like a snake oil salesman, but it's kind of like, one of, the ketogenic diet, how we talk about it, how it heals the body, everything from cell to cell. When we talk about the Qi, the potential to unlock longevity, anti-aging, you talk about optimal health, and just relieving symptoms of depression. Man, can you explain the concept of Qi and how this is possible?
Okay. I mean, we can go pretty deep into it, but I'll just do the very basic, the simplest explanation I can give. So, music, right? We listen to music, and music can make us very, hyper and very energetic,
Yes.
or make us want to dance and move in our body. Or music can make us really relaxed and really calm. Music can make us even cry, if we heard a sad song that we remember from a long time ago. So music is universal, and it's based on frequency. It's just a bunch of combinations and sequences of frequencies. That's all it is. And there's words behind it, which also have meaning, right? So when we listen to that, it can alter our emotions and alter us also physiologically, not just emotions, right? Because our thoughts actually change our physiology, or the other way around. So if that's the case, what if there's a kind of music that's completely silent? You can't hear it with your ears, but you can so-called hear it with your cells. Your cells are listening to this music all the time. And that music is called electromagnetic field, or electromagnetic energy, because science actually found that our cells and our DNA and our brain all communicate through electromagnetic pulses. Okay, not just chemical. Because in school they teach, how does the body work through through chemical processes. and then we have a nervous system. But there's also something called the electromagnetic signals. Like, for example, our DNA is highly sensitive to electromagnetic fields. They put the DNA in the petri dish, they send an electromagnetic field, it changes immediately how it reacts. It's highly sensitive. Even with their thoughts, you can actually manipulate how what you call the DNA expression, DNA expression. It will change the expression, because they say we can't change the links and the chains in our DNA, but you can change actually how it expresses. You can change it, and it accounts for 40% of how your body actually interprets it. So what if there's a way to communicate to our body in the way that's already communicated with itself using these signals? So that's what we've done. We've actually found a music that can communicate directly to your body and tell it to do whatever you want. So that's why it can change the way you think. All right. We have people in depression that have no more depression. I mean, obviously, we have people who have chronic illness for decades. I was 10 years, and people have been longer. For 40 years, they had this disease, all right, that they could not get rid of. They would take meds, nothing works. They use our Qi coils for 60 days, and they have no more pain. And they fixed their problem in 60 days using just energy. They didn't change anything else. They didn't get surgery. They didn't do any additional medication, obviously, right? They just use our frequency, our coil, and they didn't believe. Like, the guy didn't believe it. So his wife had to put it near him so that he would use it, because he wouldn't believe it. Yeah, blah, 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 you know, those old grumpy men, right?
Yeah.
He's like 60 years old, right? They don't want to do anything. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's not gonna work. Blah, 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 right? And then wife just put it on his chair. Because it's silent, right? You don't need him to cooperate. You just put it there. And then, one day he got us like, hey, wife, I think it might be working. Something's happening. I'm getting less pain. And then 60 days later, he's like cooking breakfast for his wife.
Wow.
Which is unheard of. And then he's like, is there anything else I can do for you? Is there anything I can help? And she's completely shocked. Like, who are you? Who are you? Like, where is this? Where did you come from? What happened to my grumpy husband? So this happens, right? You change the person's physiology, you can actually change their personality too. You change their change in personality. So I have a saying. It's change your frequency, change your destiny. Okay, if you're listening to this, say this to yourself right now. Change your frequency, change your destiny. And it's that powerful, because I think that frequency is the fundamental thing behind all of reality, if you think about it, right? If you think about we are all solid matter, we're not. We're mostly empty space. We're not solid matter. Reality, the world you see around you is not solid. It's mostly empty space. Okay? Think of all the electrons and all the space between the electrons and all the atoms. It's tiny. It's like 0.1% is actual matter. The rest is empty space. So if it's just empty space, then what is it? It's energy then, right? So we're mostly energy. We're only 0.1% matter, mostly energy. So if you're mostly energy, what do you change? How do you change energy? You use frequencies to change energy, right? So if you change frequency, you can change the underlying thing that governs the entire universe. That's what Nikola Tesla said, right? He said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, think in terms of frequency, energy, and vibration. Einstein also said, and people don't really know, he said, future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. He didn't say the medicine of pills. He didn't say the medicine of surgery. He said the medicine of frequencies, right? So I can make that statement confidently that if you can change your frequency, you change your destiny, because there's this saying, right? Change your thoughts, change your actions, change your habits, change your character, change your destiny. Well, I go beyond the thought. I go before the thought. Before thought is frequency, because you can use frequency to change your thoughts.
I really never thought about that before, about the music, because the music, it changes your emotion. It changes everything. It changes your mood and everything. So I really never thought about that. And we are limited to what we see. Since we don't see magnetic frequency, it's hard to comprehend, right? But then I saw all of these great reviews from your videos, it's like people are changing their lives, transforming their lives for the better. And I'm like, man, I had to have you on. And so I'm just glad that you get to explain that here today. It's just a simple way. Yeah, let's talk about the Qi quote more. It says, this is well researched. It has, you said, 80 years of research. It can help you with sleep, better sleep, enhance your focus. I'm really interested in, just reducing the symptoms of depression, right? Because that's where I'm mostly interested about, because of what happened to me in the past. And I would love to help a lot of people really, see this through, and maybe this can help them too. And if you guys want, anyone who's listening interested in this device, I can put a link down below so you guys can check it out. But obviously has tremendous benefits, just going by the quick recovery that, from that incurable disease that you had, almost accidentally healed yourself from like the 10 years of suffering, and then also relieved your symptoms of depression. And you also said you were unhappy at the time, and everything changed for you. And, now you're thriving and helping a lot of people. And that's what I really love about this, because you took your experience, you didn't just, kept it for yourself. You're going out here, spreading the message, talking about your story, and talking about how you healed yourself, and now helping a lot of people. So, but for those people who may start to think that, that grumpy old man that says this is too good to be true, to those people, what do you say, brother?
Well, just try it. I mean, we have free frequencies that you can just listen to. We have one called Remove Negative Energy. Just download it. It's free. You don't have to pay anything, no credit card, no anything, and listen to it. And then, I challenge you not to relieve your stress with it. I challenge you to stay stressed while you listen to that. You can't. Okay. We have like 8 frequencies that people can use for free. One of them is for sleep, one of them for energy, one for regeneration. And a lot of people just listen to these and they're like, wow, it's actually making me feel better. I feel actually lighter. I feel actually more energy. I wonder if this is going to work tomorrow. So they try it tomorrow, it works again. I wonder if it was going to work next week. They try it next week, it works again, right? Because a lot of people are skeptical. So, oh, maybe it's my placebo. Oh, maybe it's something else. So they use this for, let's say, a month, maybe even a year later, right? And they're using these frequencies for free. And then finally they decide, it's like, oh, maybe this stuff actually works, right? Some people take that long, right? And then they buy a coil. They finally buy a coil. And then when they buy, it's like, oh, I wish I'd have bought the coil earlier, like a year earlier, because now I can get this even, now it's even stronger. Now it's even a fuller experience. So I don't really care, right? You can get the coil, you can get the most expensive stuff, or you can get the free stuff. I mean, just start your journey, right? Exploring with this stuff. I guarantee it's going to change your life. Like you can see the thousands of people that are already doing it right now, using it. We're growing really fast. We have lots of other foundations charities that we are partnering with. For example, we are partnering with, we just partnered. We officially partners with the NFL alumni. So that's the NFL. So they're the biggest, sports in America. And they have an alumni. They have a program for caring for kids. So we're using our system to help their children, because a lot of them have mental health problems. And another program we did is called Frequency Method. So we're helping kids with ADHD and autism, learning disability. We actually use our coils for 3 years in classrooms already. And then we have a case study. If you go to our site, we show how these kids who are the lowest in the class went from that to the highest in the nation in 4 months.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Wow. And this is quantitative. This is their math scores. So we had the lowest math scores in the nation. These are kids with ADHD, autism, learning disability, in the worst class. Now, they did the math test 4 months later. They're scoring in the top 1% in the nation. It's crazy. How did it happen? And so we explain this with frequency, okay? And we have a special way of teaching math. So like teachers are flabbergasted. That's the proper word, right? Because they come to our the class, they say, how are these kids able to, when we were teaching them, they wouldn't even talk to us. And when we approach them, they scream, right? And we tried to 2 years to get these kids to even just talk. And now we came to the class and they're leading the classroom. They're teaching the other kids. What the
Wow.
heck is going on? They can't believe what is going on. So we have a book. It's in the background. It's called ADHD and Autism: Transforming Disability to Genius. All right. So I wrote that book with the teacher, with the educator who is using our frequencies. So this is brand new. And you think about it, nobody is doing this in that area in education, and it's so desperately needed, especially after the pandemic, especially with AI and all this like stuff and TikTok, right? Kids have no way of focusing and learning anymore. The attention span before the pandemic was pretty bad. It was like 15 seconds. Guess what it is now? Now it's 9 seconds. So it got worse. It was pretty bad, but now it's even worse. So what can you use to help kids to focus and actually focus and concentrate and not be so distracted? Well, if you look at our classroom, it's pretty amazing. We have video footage of them just sitting there. These are the worst of the worst with ADHD and everything. They can't even focus for 9 seconds. And they're sitting there meditating for 15 minutes in the classroom.
Wow.
Because we're playing the frequencies. It's incredible. So we're doing that. So all these organizations, all these charities are now wanting to partner with us, wanting to implement our technology into their programs, because they just see and they're using it themselves, right? All these leaders and all these thought leaders, they're using it themselves in their own lives. They're getting benefits from them. And they say, wow, it's helping me so much. How is it going to help like all the kids that we teach or all the people that we help as well? And the next thing we're doing, we're partnering with the Child Separation Foundation, so another charity, and they are basically basically fighting child trafficking, and they're helping them recover from trauma. So this is exactly the technology that they want to use, because they want to help these kids recover from the darkest evil that we see on the planet right now, right? How does a child deal with this, right? What kind of therapy can they get that can help them deal with that, right? Well, maybe they need something like this, a frequency to help them with that, in addition to whatever they're doing. And that doesn't hurt, right? It only adds to it. It only helps. The reason is because this is all silent. You can make it silent, or you can just listen to the sound, up to you. And it's non-contact. You just put it in the room. You don't need them to take a pill. You don't need them to do a pose or like do an exercise. They're just sitting there. They could be playing video games for whatever, and they're getting that therapy by just being in the room with having one of our coils. You see this one in the background. That's what they use in the classrooms. They cover 3,000 square feet.
How often do you have to do it? Like, can you do it every day?
Some people just leave it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how simple it is, right? Because like there's so many other technologies or programs or whatever, right? And they all work, but the thing is they all require effort, or they all require some kind of focus to do it. But this one you don't. You just put it in your house, and these are actually luxury versions of it. You see in the background. So these are called Qi Gong auras. So they actually make like artwork, so you can display it in your home. You can fix it to your wall, and they're beautiful to look at. They're centerpieces, they're decor, and they're also functional medicine. Using basically based on neuroscience. And so we have even celebrities. We have some singers, and a lot of it's starting to have a lot of celebrity athletes starting to get these in their homes, because they look amazing, their artwork, and they help everybody in the house.
It looks like you guys are on a roll here. Where do you see your company in 5 years? Where do you want to take this?
I think we're going to be probably $100 million company in 5 years. But that's not, I don't really care about that. Like what I really care about is like, we want to impact as many lives as possible. We want to reverse all the damage that has been done to everybody's health over the last few years, right? We want to reverse all the negativity, depression, and anxiety that has been rampant everywhere. We want to reverse all the ADHD and autism that is growing all around the world, right? We want to reverse or protect people from all the EMFs and 5G radiation that is plaguing the planet everywhere that people cannot escape from. So that is my mission. My mission is to heal the world together, and together with our people who have the same vision, and purpose. And because I think we can definitely do it, right? I mean, there's people like the Joe Dispenza group, and thank God for them, and they use meditation to heal each other and heal other people, and heal the planet. But I think with something like this can enhance what they're doing like tenfold or hundredfold, because now these meditators, they're already really good at it. They can actually take it even a few notches higher, with their abilities.
Man, it looks like you have a really good thing going on here, and you're on a mission to just help the planet, heal. I mean, you're talking about, inflammation, you're talking about depression, which is the biggest issue here, plaguing the planet, man. Like, everybody's dealing with it, especially after, this pandemic, especially, with social media and just a lot of, fear mongering going on social media and whatnot. And so this is a service that is really needed. And since this is so, affordable, you have an affordable package that you have that everybody could just purchase online. If you guys are interested on this device, I'll link everything down in the description box below, along with the free links for the frequencies that you can use right now. Man, I thank you for coming on and sharing this with our listeners and sharing your story. And I can't commend you enough for what you're doing. You've suffered yourself, and you've healed yourself from years of just suffering from that incurable disease. And accidentally, you've created a device that helped yourself heal, and now it's healing the world. And so, man, I congratulate you for all your successes. You deserve it, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me on, and same for you. Thank you so much for your podcast, and basically just spreading the message of healing and for wellness to people that are listening.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. David Wong. Bye-bye.
Subscribe to the Ketones and Coffee Podcast today and never miss an episode.